United Kingdom, Canadians celebrate the Dominion's 78th anniversary. At Bramshot, services are conducted by the Canadian Ex-Servicemen's Association. Rededication to the fallen is given by veterans of both wars. At Brookwood Cemetery, the Canada branch of the British Legion hold their second annual pilgrimage. Tribute is paid to fallen comrades. A Meet Canada exhibition depicting Canada's activities, which has been touring Britain, is officially opened in London by Honourable Vincent Massey. Canada's story is graphically depicted in the display. In London, memorial parades, including representatives from all the services, are held. The troops converge on Westminster Abbey and Westminster Cathedral for church service, passing the saluting base in the line of march. The Honourable Vincent Massey takes the salute. Normally a great day for Canuck celebrants, this year the day is spent in sober reflection of recent achievements. Tribute is paid to comrades and thanks given to God for giving his strength to Canadians in the past struggle. The royal family also attend divine service. The links of empire grow strong in this dedication of Canada's anniversary. Wimbledon, the center of big-time lawn tennis, reopens its doors for a match between net stars of the British Empire and United States Armed Services. This marks the first time since the beginning of the European conflict that international tennis has been played here. In the opener, Flight Sergeant Pearson and Private Raper of Canada are pitted against Lieutenant Bobbitt and Major Guernsey of the United States. Overflowing crowds witness the best playing of the day as the Canucks and Yanks play spectacular shots. Dowager Queen Mary and the Duchess of Kent are among the spectators. Queen Mary is a rabid tennis fan and merely misses a big match. A whitewash for the Empire is avoided by the brilliant playing of Flight Sergeant Sidwell of Australia, who captures the only point for the British Empire. Canucks are on the losing end, but they, together with their victors, receive trophies from the Duchess of Kent. Final score is Americans 4 games, Empire 1. Factories in Canada are now turning out equipment for Russia to help replace that destroyed by the German invader. Giant electrical equipment demands giant tools. There can be no assembly line methods, as each piece of equipment must be custom built for its particular purpose. Transformers, motors, and circuit breakers are placed high on the priority list. Under the mutual aid pact with the Soviet Union, Canada has sent millions of dollars worth of materials. The machinery now being turned out in Canadian factories adds further to that ever-growing stream. Russian consultant engineers stay with the job from the time of submitting plans until the equipment is ready for shipment. Canadian skill and ingenuity goes into all phases of work. Besides enormous quantities of electrical equipment, there are also large amounts of railway cars being made for Russian consignment. In one factory alone, 1,500 railway cars are being made for shipment this summer. They are the strongest yet designed, each having a capacity of more than 55 tons. The vital job of rehabilitating mines, ravaged cities, power dams, and communication lines is speeded up through the concerted efforts of Canadian factories and their workers. Thus another bond is forged in international friendship. The climax to a 3-day liberation festival in Amsterdam is the visit from Queen Wilhelmina. General Crerar greets her upon arrival. Thousands of Hollanders jam the streets for a glimpse of their beloved queen for the first time in 6 years. Taking a big part in the celebrations are Canadian troops who parade with Netherlands forces past the Royal Saluting Base. A monster civilian demonstration is the follow-up to the martial parade. Clubs, trades, resistance groups, and religious organizations are all represented. The historic occasion brings with it an indication of the love of a people for their queen, plus the regard they hold for their Canadian liberators. At Groningen Stadium in Holland, a tabloid sports meet for members of the 5th Div is held. Capturing team honors for their unit is the intent of all the soldier participants. Although no world records are broken, the boys put their heart and body into the events with plenty of zest and surprising skill. The mighty ones apply the shoulder to the shot put. The budding Achilles wing their way over the high jump. There is always the broad jump for those who can run and take off. At Maple Leaf Stadium in Hilversum, the main attraction of the day is the sports meet. It marks the first race meeting held in Holland since German occupation. The Kilbride Stakes is one of the outstanding features of the day's program. The jockeys are all Army personnel. In true Woodbine and Blue Bonnet style, the horses pound their way around the track. The first to cross the finish line is the Sheik, owned by the Canadian Scottish Regiment and ridden by Major Tom Wills. The men's bar outstrips the payoff window by miles and is a stellar attraction at any meet. The Holland version of the Hambleton Classic for trotters is an exciting event. For many of the Canucks, it is their first view of this type of horse racing. General Crerar does the honors at the end of the meet, awarding trophies to the successful jockeys. In Jasper Park, something new is being added to RCAF duties, and this time it is the para-rescuers. They are a small group of volunteers whose work entails air rescue. Their training now nears completion in Canada and fits them for the arduous duties which they will undertake in the Pacific Theater. On training schemes, they simulate as nearly as possible the conditions under which they will eventually work. Over a particular target, the para-rescuer hits the silk from a height of 2,000 feet. Deliberately, he aims for the treetops. The object is to hook his parachute in the tops of trees, after which he frees himself near the injured party whom he is set out to rescue. First aid is one of the para-rescuer's prime accomplishments. He is trained to make emergency repairs of all kinds. Evacuation from isolated places presents many problems. Here again, his training equips him to improvise under any difficulty. The injured are transported over ravines, through forests, to waiting plains. Each candidate for para-rescue work must make 6 jumps in the open and 4 into timberland before qualifying. This pioneer work is an instrument for saving many lives in the task of throwing an eclipse into the rising sun.